Today on Outside the Box Reviews, we are looking at McFarlane's Monsters, Series 2. It's the Twisted Land of Oz series, and this is The Lion. Looking at all these guys in package, the Lion was the one that I was eyeing as the cool one. I thought he just looked awesome. And as far as it being a piece to look at, I'm still very much of that mindset. So I'm not going to waste any time. Let's dig into this guy because there's a lot to look at. As with the other figures, the Lion comes with his piece of the yellow brick road, his base. The Lion will use both of these pegs, which is nice because he is a heavier figure and needs a little bit of help standing up. Basic, kind of generic base, but it is cool they gave us something, and it is themed to the characters. As I mentioned with Dorothy, I really do wish these pieces would have connected together and made a road. I think that would have been an awesome way to display these figures. But we don't get that, and I'll forever be a little disappointed about that. The Lion comes with an accessory that is a little strange with this line, because I think it's the only thing a figure comes with in this series that isn't based on the story that comes with all the figures. By the way, the Lion does come with chapters 2 and 3 of the Twisted Land of Oz story. But he comes with a bear trap, or a lion trap, one of the two. It's pretty darn cool looking. It's got the big iron jaws with the irregular teeth. There's blood on it. You can see it's clamped down, possibly on the lion himself. There's a trigger mechanism. I don't think it actually does anything. I can't get it to look like it actually triggers anything at all. So I'm not really sure how it would have worked, or if it's supposed to look like it would have worked. But it's got mechanisms and stuff to it. I guess that's an important piece. It looks like it actually has some lethality to it. It also came with a chain and a loop at the end of the chain. And this did connect to it, but the piece that connects it on mine broke, and I really can't figure out how to get it to look right again. It's kind of sad. Dorothy came with a real metal chain for her necklace, and this is a plastic chain, and it feels so brittle. It's another reason I'm afraid to fix it. I'm almost just going to put it off to the side. It's not too important to the looks of the whole thing. It just feels like it's going to break if I mess with it too much. The Lion also comes with his guts. If you saw in the beginning, he was holding them. You really can't move the figure around and expect them to stay in. They peg into a part in his stomach here. You can kind of wedge him in his hand. Neither really holds him in too well, so take a look at them. They're pretty nicely sculpted. They're kind of a softer rubber, which is probably why they fall out a little too much. Not really good to peg in there. I'm going to put them off to the side for now. And the sculpting on the Lion is phenomenal. He's got kind of a Roman-esque kind of armor going on here. He's got a belt with some pouches. Honestly, kind of reminds me of the Predator. I know, what doesn't? He's got a little extra piece of armor up here, some on his elbow. It's a neat look. It's cool because it kind of is reminiscent of ancient Rome Colosseums where people would fight lions and stuff. So it's a neat idea. His face is all torn up, but a really good likeness of a lion, without making it too human looking, but also not making it look too animal-y. I think it's a really cool compromise of the look. As I mentioned before, his stomach is torn open. There's a big gaping hole in here. Just a lot of his flesh is missing. You can see the muscle underneath. His fur torn away. You can see his hand here is torn up. I mean, there's no clean spot on this guy. He is just shredded meat. Back here we have our Jason Voorhees moment where you can see his exposed spine, which is cool. Another neat thing up here with the mane is that parts of it are hard plastic, other parts are actually a softer rubber, so you do actually not have too much hindrance in the limited movement you do get with that mane. The articulation for him is the head has a up and down motion. It could also swivel. You could swivel at the waist. You can rotate at both shoulders and rotate at the elbow. Talking old school articulation here, guys. Not a whole lot. And the only other thing he has is a wire bendy tail, which is cool. You can see here it's missing all the meat, so you just have exposed spine. There's a peeled back fleshy piece here. It's a lot of chunky, disgusting meat taken out of him. And the Lion also has a few extra accessories. He has one sword down here, kind of like a curved, really nasty looking blade, really well detailed. And that can actually pierce straight through his leg and comes out on the other side. In his back here, he has another sword, which pierces into his body. This one has no tip on it. It just goes and slides right in there. And as you follow through here, we got the handle coming all the way down to here. And this is a giant spike, spear, driven all the way through his body. This is all one piece. It actually will come out. It's really tight in there and really hard to align, so I'm not going to remove it. But that's pretty crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a figure that had a full accessory totally pierce the figure in any manner like this. It's really unexpected and pretty darn cool. As I mentioned at the start of this review, the Lion was the one that I was so excited to get my hands on. He just looks like a monster, a real monster. And I gotta say, I don't quite get the character because he's all torn up, but he looks like he's in warrior gear, so if he's the cowardly lion, why has he been in so many fights? Wouldn't he have just run? I don't really get the characterization with it, but they do an awesome job making him look cool and badass and zombie-ish almost. And I really dig the figure. I was not disappointed. As with any McFarlane thing, I always have this, modern toy collector feeling of, oh man, he needs more articulation. Where's the articulation? But you know what? He's cool. The sculpt makes up for the fact that he's lacking in articulation. So I'm going to recommend the Lion. Definitely one worth picking up. One of the ones I've seen on the secondary market that seems to claim a good amount of money in box. So if you're looking for one, you may have to pay a pretty penny. Though I think you could probably find them loose for a pretty reasonable sum. This has been another Outside the Box review. Stay tuned for more to come.